WhiskyJason, yeah. Whisky Live Dublin 2022 together with
Mr. Anthony Sheehy from Irish Whisky Auctions.
Now, it took, I'm going to use the word balls, to actually start a auction site exclusively for Irish whiskey. Congratulations.
It took something, I don't know if balls is the right word, as in it took a fair amount of stupidity or confidence. Look, we see
tenacity.
Yeah, tenacity. I mean, that's the right word. I mean, we've seen the auctions in the UK market, in the European market, and we thought, why isn't it be done here? And it literally is. And Germany was the actual catalyst for it.
Thomas Kruger with whiskyauctions.com.
We bought a bottle from Thomas for Katie's dad for Christmas 2017. It got stopped by customs coming into Ireland. We were talking to a guy about it, and he said it's a shame that there's no whiskey auction business in Ireland. And we sort of went, it is, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes.
Really, why wasn't there one here before? And we set about setting it up, and it just seemed to flourish from there.
Right time, right place,
absolutely.
Right thing, yes.
John Teeling, I've had the pleasure of being in his company a few times.
Yes.
And he said to me, he says, I think you're a bit early. And I went, I'd rather be early than late. And it just seemed that we've grown as the industry has seemed to flourish and expand. So it's brilliant. I mean, it's been the right time, right place.
Now, how many bottles do you actually sell just in Ireland? How many do you export to other countries? Is it 80-20, 50-50?
We're probably, at the minute, it's about 60-65% Irish is the market for us. The American market is particularly growing for us every month. European market, I mean, our biggest challenge is our shipping cost. We're on an island. Unfortunately, everything has to be flown off the island, so the cost is what it is. We're constantly trying to get that, but again, it's a volume number, as you probably know, that as soon as you get to a critical mass, you can get the price point down, and that's what our ultimate game is. You know.
All right, very good. You still don't have storage, do you?
We do, yeah.
Okay,
we
because
do
the very first time I ordered, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell my story, okay? I bid on 10 products, I won one bottle, 22 euros.
Right.
45 euros
to ship it
to Germany. And I was not a burned child, but I had burnt my fingers, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to
do that. Absolutely.
So
and one of the reasons, and we get that asked awfully, is why are we the price point we're at? The reason we use next day delivery, and the reason being is I try to minimize the length of time it's in transit, so the risk to the package, because I can't go, if you buy something from me in an auction, it's not like I can go and pick another one off a shelf and replace it.
Never.
It's something that's, and again, with courier companies, a lot of them don't insure the glass, alcohol, liquid, so they don't cover it, and it's really difficult. So it is one of the challenges we face.
What other challenges have you faced, not just transporting or sending alcohol to customers? The technology.
I mean, again, it was the biggest obstacle. I mean, until June 2020, we had our old original website, and it just got old and tired, and it just wasn't fit for the. We didn't know. We didn't know how it was going to go, so that was the biggest challenge. So when it started to work, we really rapidly had to try and implement a new website and all that sort of stuff. And when we did that, it's worked now flawlessly since then.
Very good.
Look, I think it's like it. We've been probably in tandem with the explosion in Irish whiskey recently. And hopefully we're going to be there to fulfill. I mean, we can get bottles that people can't get elsewhere. They're trying to source them elsewhere. We've had weird anomalies of, Germany in particular. We've a lot of German sellers who send bottles to Ireland of Blantons, of Eagle Rare, of American whiskies. They're seeing the prices that it's getting, and we end up shipping them to America because they can't get the prices in America, or they can't get the
bottles.
Products.
They don't even see them.
Exactly. So it's infrastructure like that we've now put in place that works and helps us grow, and hopefully we can continue to grow as the Irish whiskey industry explodes. I mean, it's still going to keep going for another wee while, I think.
So John Teeling said, and I've said this in a lot of videos, as soon as you start drinking whiskey with about 30, you'll stick with whiskey the rest of your life. And so he said, I can guarantee 50 years.
That's the thing. I mean, again, I think for anybody that's looking at Irish whiskey from the outside now, they have to take confidence from Pernod Ricard, from IDL, that the money that they're investing into it, John Teeling, he's a legend. He's not a foolish man. He's continually, expanding. I mean, I was talking to one of their team the other day, and they're doing 2,900 barrels a week at the minute.
Yes.
He's talking about within 5 years they're going to be touching 9,000 barrels. I mean, a week. Their biggest challenge is warehousing, is storage. I mean, and as is the case. So with that growth, all the brands, all the industries, hopefully will be there standing tall as well and being able to ship with them as well. So it'll be a challenge, but hopefully we're up to it.
Very, very good. So you have customers basically all over the world at the moment?
Indeed, yeah.
I'm sure North Korea and other places like that, maybe not.
Few of them are really challenging. I mean, Canada is particularly challenging to get into. Again, it's one of the ones we always try and mitigate the landing costs for somebody. But again, I mean, the rest of the world is game ball. I mean, I think in November we shipped to 28 different countries in total. So it is great that we're getting there. Again, it's hard work. It is hard work. It is a challenge.
Very good. So if I want to sell something, I actually send it to you.
We send it to us.
You check and make sure it's not a fake.
Absolutely.
You make sure that everything's
still
watertight.
Forward, I think that's when items start to achieve price levels.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got to be more concerned about the fakes, and we can see it in the Scotch industry. I mean, it's happened a few times.
That's where Thomas Kruger is an expert, by the way.
And it really does. And I mean, again, we've started with the Irish stuff. We've started checking laser codes. We've really started to go into detail on it, so that we can build a catalogue of data that we have reference points to go. It's this, because that is the challenge, isn't it, going forward? And then we get the bottles to us, verify it's legitimate. We are probably unique in that we photograph every single item. In that, a lot of people would use library photos of a generic bottle or something like that, whereas we always say photo every single bottle, because then even the flaws or everything's on it, and it shows it up in that as well. So it's hard work, but it's worthwhile. It stands to us. It gives us the originality, and it gives us the authenticity that we can stand over.
Now, I'm sure in your collection there's a bottle you would never put on auction. What is it?
Personally?
Yes. Do you have one of those bottles?
It's Thomas Kruger's one. It's actually, it is the very first bottle that we bought. So the bottle, not that we bought, it was the bottle that we bought that was the catalyst for Irish Whiskey Auctions. So it's a bottle of Sleeve na Glock from the Curly Distillery. Again, the comedy of Dundalk, where we're based, is only 6-10 miles from the Cooley Distillery, but we couldn't buy these products. They were available in Europe or in the UK. So it was one of the bottles that we have, and it'll never go for sale.
That's great. That's great.
It'll never get any real price that it is worth. Me retiring on, but it's one of our bottles.
Sentimental value is the important. Sure. I have a bottle signed by someone as well. I would never sell that. I mean,
I actually have. I'd be a bit of a Teeling fanboy. I mean, I've identified as that a few times. I have a set of 21, 26, and 30-year-old Teelings.
Yes.
And all three of them are signed by Jack, John, and Stephen. So it's something again very special for me as well to have.
Very good. And if we want to buy whiskey, we just go to
www.irishwhiskeyauctions.com. Sign up, and again, the storage thing is a lot of the European users and the American users are really getting into that now, that we can hold the bottles for them, amalgamate after 2-3 months, and ship to them in mass. It's considerably cheaper. It's considerably safe.
Back then you didn't have that. Now it's very good.
We didn't have the space whereas we do now. It's great. We've expanded our storage facilities and all that stuff as well.
And you're based by Dundalk, as you mentioned. So you have a wonderful facility and enough people.
Yeah, you're welcome to call down and visit us, Jason, if you're here for a few days.
I was Monday. I should have dropped by. I'm sorry.
You're welcome to call down to us. I mean, we have. We've built, our vaults where we hold the whiskey. We've invested heavily in the infrastructure and security of that. So we've got ballistic glass on our windows. We've got access control on our doors. We've really invested heavily because ultimately it's, a lot of the bottles are irreplaceable. If we've a legacy bottle,
You'd be actually just a nightmare for an insurance company, aren't you?
We were a bit of a challenge for them, all right, yeah. I think they...
I mean, it changes every month as well.
Yeah, so we have to... Actually, that was one of the challenges as well initially, that you have to keep stepping your overall cover.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that they have to... they sort of try and implement, come to us and see what we've got. But you sort of... How do you... Month to month, because we empty the room, fill it again, empty the room, fill it again, and I mean, there's an element of Groundhog Day that you're on the same thing every month. But look, it's always enjoyable. It's always different. I mean, it's a great window into Irish whiskey and seeing what the patterns are, and what the flows are, and what people are chasing. I mean, Middleton's obviously one of the flagship that everybody chases, but you see a lot of the new brands coming through. Thomond Gate recently with Nick. I mean, only last month, one of the bottles sold for €3,000. I mean, a fantastic price. That was an initial bottle for €100. I mean, a hell of a return. A really, really, really good return. So,
you are on camera, by the way.
Just camera. It is one of them things that people are looking at now as well as an alternative investment. Other than just the drinking and the enjoyment aspect of it as well. So it's growing, and I think that's diversifying a wee bit as well. I think people are getting into that as well. So.
And how many bottles were in the auction maybe last month or the month before?
Last month we're hovering around 1,000 to 1,100 bottles every month. Again, it's great for, I mean,
in the summer some less, in the winter some more.
And again, you can see the peaks and troughs of that. And I mean, and again, when we look back at when I was doing the initial planning for Irish whiskey auctions, you were looking at the UK auctions, and you could see literally it was the same sort of thing. And even whiskyauction.com, I mean, it was the same thing. You could see the peaks and troughs. But it's natural. I mean, people on holidays, are we going to see a bit of a slowdown now with the bit of a slowdown that we have, the inflation rising the way it is? Are people going to get thinner on the ground? Are they going to spend the money that they did? Don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'm looking forward to actually looking at your website again and maybe buying something and keeping it there, and then buying something again next month and actually having it shipped over to Germany. That's going to be great.
You're very welcome to do that. Again, just reach out to us. I mean, one of the things that we've tried to do is make ourselves really approachable on social media and email and all that sort of stuff. I mean, people know us.
Instagram,
yeah. I mean, we're walking around here and people are coming up and shaking our hands, and exactly, there is an element. You experience the same. So it is enjoyable because that's what you want. You want to be talking to people and enjoying whiskey and that, and that's what it's about. So hopefully we've done a few right things, and people will continue doing business with us. You know, it's great.
Thank you very much for this nice interview. All the best, and we'll keep on contact. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye.